I'm going to click on the pen tool on my toolbar. And the first thing we want to do anytime we use the pen tool is make sure that we change the setting from path to shape. In DMA, we are never using path, we are only using shape. And your pen tool is not going to work unless it is on the shape. So make sure that you do this every single time you start something new with the pen tool. Next to it is the fill color. You can choose whatever color you want. I am going to stick with Impact Purple. And the stroke should be 1. If it's not on 1, just select it, type in the number 1 and hit return, and then you will be ready to go. I'm going to zoom in by hitting Command and the plus sign. That looks good. And now I'm just going to start by making a point in his armpit. So I will click, and as soon as I click, it creates a new layer over here called the Shape 1 layer. As soon as you click, as soon as you do anything with the pen tool, make sure that it has created a new layer. If it does not create this new layer, you did something wrong. Just do Command Z to go back. Make sure that you have shape selected up here. And now I'm going to continue clicking. I'm going to practice doing a curve right here. So I've made this point. My hands are now off my mouse. I'm going to click again and keep holding down. I'm going to drag my mouse out so you guys can see that I now have like this little curve. I want to make sure that that curve perfectly matches Michael Jordan's shirt. Looks good. So now I'm unclicking, my hands are up. I can hold down the Option key to click and drag the point back into the white square. And then I can just continue clicking along. Just like that. And I'll practice doing one more curve on his leg. So again, I've made this point. My hands are now off the mouse. I'm going to click and hold down. I will drag out the tool to make the curve. I think that looks good. I'm now going to unclick. My hands are up. I hold down Option, I click and drag that point back into the white area. And then I unclick. And from there, I can just continue clicking along his outline. Okay. So as you're doing this, depending on the photo and like where you are in the photo, this purple could become annoying as you're working on it and like you haven't completely finished it yet. So to get rid of this purple fill, you can go over here to where it says opacity and change the opacity from 100% to something lower. Whatever you want is fine. It doesn't matter for this. And another thing is if you decide midway through that you want to change your fill color, to do that, you can go over here to the layers panel, the shape 1 layer, and inside of this box, there's this little box. If you double click on that little box, it brings up the color picker, and you can change it to any other color. I'll make Michael Jordan green for now. Okay. Let's say that you click somewhere, like you just like click something wrong, and now your pen tool is over here, and you want to go back. To go back, just do Command Z. If you mess up a few times in a row, just hit Command Option Z, and that will continue stepping you back. And let's also say that you got distracted, you clicked on another layer, you clicked off the pen tool somehow, but you want to continue working on your shape. So all that you have to do is make sure that you're back on the shape layer that you're trying to work on. Click back on the pen tool. And now, if you run your pen tool along the line, you can see that next to the pen tool on like the bottom right of it, there's that little star. I'm going to go to the last point that I made, which is right here. And as soon as I'm right there, that little star, it changes into like a square with some lines sticking out. So I know that I'm in the right spot. I'm on the last point that I made. If I click down, it brings up all my points again, and I'm able to just continue going along. Okay, so I have almost finished clicking around Michael Jordan. I'm on this point right here, and this is the point where I started on. I'm just gonna finish that up. And to completely finish it, I just need to close it by clicking on the first part that I started on. Okay, so now I'm done with my pen tool shape. I'm gonna click on opacity and turn that back up to 100%. Wow, and now we have a really green silhouette of Michael Jordan. But we are not done yet. We're gonna focus on the basketball now, and we're gonna do the basketball in a slightly different way. I'm gonna click on this tool right here. It might be the rectangle tool for you. I'm gonna click and hold down, and I will choose the ellipse tool. And we're gonna use this to make a basketball. So you guys will notice that as soon as you click and try to draw your ellipse, it comes out really stretched out. So again, to keep the dimensions perfect, hold down the Shift key, and that creates a perfect circle. That looks really good. As soon as you have a perfect circle, just unclick, and that creates your basketball. I'm gonna use my arrow keys to slightly move this up. Actually, I think I'll keep it there. That looks fine. And I'm going to click on this green color right here. My basketball is going to be like a nice orange color. And then I'm going to close this properties window. So what happened is that I made the basketball second, so it's currently covering up my Michael Jordan green thumb. So over here on the layers panel, I just need to move the ellipse circle shape so that it's underneath shape 1. So then Michael Jordan's thumb comes back. Okay, and now my last thing is the hoop over here. We're going to do that using the pen tool again. So I will click on the pen tool. As soon as I click, I want to make sure that it has created a new shape 2 layer, which it has. And then I'm just going to really quickly click around the hoop. And if you guys want to be really fancy, you could actually like go inside of the net, but I'm just gonna go really fast around it right now. Make a curve right there. And then I'm just gonna really quickly click back here. Okay, all right. Okay, so now I have my outline of Michael Jordan, the basketball, and the basketball hoop. And my next step is creating a background for all of this. And we're gonna be using a gradient background. The gradient tool is right here. I'm gonna click on that. And these are the colors that set your gradient. So I am going to maybe make, maybe like a nice purple gradient to like a bright pink gradient would be really nice. And this is what's gonna come up when I create my gradient. To actually create my gradient right now, I'm not able to do anything. It says could not use the gradient tool because of this. So I will just click OK. And that happened because I was on the shape 2 layer. I need to click on my background copy layer. And now to create my gradient, I have my cursor right here. I'm going to click and drag a line. And depending on which direction and how long your line is, the gradient will look different. I'm gonna go with this. I will let go. And wow, there is my finished Michael Jordan masterpiece.